Okay, we'll get started. We'd like to welcome Scottie Scheffler into the interview room here at the RBC Heritage, coming off of his second win at the Masters tournament, and he's won now 3 out of his last 4 starts on the PGA Tour. Scottie, welcome back to the RBC Heritage. If you can just take us back to Sunday and then what the last few days have been like.
Yeah, Sunday was a great day. I was fortunate to play well and win the tournament. Went home on Sunday night. We got home pretty late, and so I just relaxed at home the last couple of days with Meredith. And then, it's good to be back here at Hilton Head. I like the golf course. I'm trying to focus a bit more on rest in my preparation this week. So only played the back 9 today. I'll see the front 9 tomorrow when I tee off. But, I'm excited to be back. It's a fun golf course and excited for the week.
Yeah, and you had a good week here last year. This is your second start at this tournament. You finished tied for 11th last year. Just talk a little bit about the difference in coming from Augusta National to a completely different golf course here at Harbour Town.
Yeah, it's very different. I think sometimes when you're coming from Augusta, we were talking about it today because I think, is it 14 that's the long par 3 with the water? I think 14 is a par 3 with the water, and the green just looked so small. And I was sitting there with a 6-iron looking at this small green. And Augusta, everything's kind of really big at times, and then you come here and everything is really, really small, it seems like. And so I think it's a great golf course. I think it's a lot of fun to play. I think it's very interesting. I think for some people, distance debate type people should, if they're ever looking at golf course design and how to combat people only trying to hit the ball really far, need to come here and do a case study on this golf course because it's really, really good. You got to curve the ball both directions, and you have to control your distance. You have to control where the golf ball's going. It's not just a place where you can go bomb it.
All right, we'll open it up to questions. We'll start with Doug here in the middle.
There was a picture of you in a tavern?
Yes.
Details, please.
I don't really frequent either of those places or that place very, very often. I don't know if I'd actually been to that place before. There was another tavern around the corner that I'd been to a few times, and it's a nice place. But shockingly, it wasn't open Sunday at 1:30 in the morning. This place was open, and so. On the plane ride home, I was with my manager Blake and my coach Randy. Then I had four of my good buddies with me, and I don't remember who suggested it, but it seemed like a good idea. And when Meredith picked us up at the airport, it still seemed like a good idea. And Meredith was down, so we went for about probably 20 minutes, and then went home and took a few photos, had a drink, and then went home and went to bed.
Was there any consideration to not playing this week?
Not really. I made a commitment to this tournament. Like I said, I like coming here and playing the golf course. And, I'm a bit tired right now, but I got, all afternoon today to continue to rest and get ready for the week.
All right, let's go to Paul here, and then we'll move to Gary and Shane in the back.
Scottie, just off that, how did you kind of spend Monday, Tuesday, either celebrating or just decompressing?
Yeah, mostly just decompressing. A lot of relaxing at home. We celebrated Monday night. We had a few of our friends over to the house, ordered some food, and just looked at some pictures from Sunday night and just relaxed and had fun and nothing crazy.
All right, let's go to Shane in the back, and then we'll come to Will over here on the left.
Scottie, off the Masters thing for a second. I'm wondering if you're connected, or if you feel you're connected still to people who would be considered an average golf fan, people who watch on the weekends and things like that, whether it's your friends, your family, whatever. And if so, have you noticed a difference in the way they feel about professional golf, yourself not included, but just if they like it less, if they like it more, considering everything that's happened over the last 2 years, if you've observed anything on that front?
So what's the question? Like, what
do people that are average golf fans, do they like golf less? Do they like golf more? Do they like it the same because of the LIV PGA Tour stuff?
I think to an average golf fan, I wouldn't say that I am around too many people that are, you would say, an average golf fan. I think for the most part I'm around my friends, and it's pretty much it. So as far as the average fan goes, I'm not really sure. I think they're probably getting a little bit tired of all the noise. I think what's great about our sport is the competition. That's what I love the most, is coming out here and competing. And so if a little bit of the narrative could get shifted back towards that, I think that would be really nice. Like, you look at something like March Madness, and they're not competing for any money or anything like that. You can look at the women's game. The women in college now that they're staying 4 years in school. There's good rivalries, that you have teams pitted against each other year after year, and it's really intriguing to watch, and it's not about anything other than wanting to witness something great and enjoying competition.
All right, let's go to Will and then Kathy over on the right.
Scottie, you mentioned over the weekend that your neck flared up a little bit. I didn't know if there was an update there relative to how you were feeling, or if it related at all to what you were going through at Sawgrass.
Yeah, I think it was something similar that happened to me at Sawgrass. Fortunately or unfortunately, everyone will look at it. On Sunday morning, my neck did start to kind of bother me a little bit. The same little joint kind of bugged me a touch. But fortunately, we were able to get ahead of it this time before it completely locked up on me. And so as far as how I felt Sunday, like my warm-up was very stressful because when the joint starts to lock up, everything around it also tightens. And it happens very quickly. So, I was sitting on the couch at home relaxing, and then all of a sudden I could feel it. And so I got in the shower as quick as I could, got ready, and went straight to my trainer. And we started working on it pretty quickly, but it definitely was not anywhere near my normal warm up. I was out late for my warm up. I had to go back in and get taped back up to go back out and play. And so the warm up was a bit stressful, but I felt like my heart rate went down as we're approaching the tee time.
All right, Kathy over on the far right.
Scottie, did you feel any different kind of satisfaction after winning the Masters a second time than you did the first?
I think so. Yeah, I think whenever you're able to do it again, I think is really special. I don't know if validation is the right word for the first one, but doing something like that twice is very special, and so there's definitely a good bit of satisfaction in accomplishing that.
Okay, let's go to Doug and then Alex, and then we'll move over to the right here. Doug and Alex.
Two things. Do you feel like you're looked at any differently by your peers? Do you think they're worried about you?
Do I think they're worried about me?
Not your health or anything like that. But
no, I know that, but do I think they're worried about me?
Yeah. Do they
think,
oh no, Scottie's in the field. We got our hands full this week?
I don't think so. I think just like I do, I think they enjoy good competition, and I think that's something that we're looking forward to this week. When I was first coming up on tour, I always wanted to compete with the guys that were playing the best. I got excited for the events like this where the best players were there, and I think it would be enjoyable if I'm up there on the leaderboard on Sundays, because I think guys want to beat players when they're at their best. I'm sure if you had Steven Yeager sitting here, he'd be saying like, yeah, I want to compete against Scott. I want to play with him, and then you get results like wins and stuff like that. So I wouldn't say that they would be worried. I think they would be more excited.
And secondly, the thing on Sunday night's kind of interesting because I think in your own words, you've never really celebrated enough at a lot of your wins. What possessed you to finally, celebrate a little bit?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I think, part of how I felt Sunday morning was I said I wish that I didn't want to win as badly as I did. I wanted to win that tournament really, really badly for a number of reasons. I wanted to put the green jacket back on. I wanted to be able to have that plane ride home with the jacket, us all having fun. And it's kind of weird living through those times in your life where you've dreamt about having moments like that, and then all of a sudden they're happening. And so Sunday was really fun just to kind of have some good friends and celebrate and enjoy the moment. Those are guys that we've walked through a lot of stuff over the last 8 to 10 years or so, and so it was very special, all of us getting to be together and celebrate something great happening together.
All 20 minutes of it in the tavern.
Well, we were on the plane together for a while, and but yeah, that was more for Meredith, and then it was like okay, it closed at 2. Like Mary finished I think she finished her Heineken 0, and it was like okay, then now we can go.
Lastly, Scottie, and when you look back at the year of 22 with the green jacket, and now that you have it again, are there things that you would like to do with it differently than the first year?
I think right now the way I feel is I want to wear it around the house more. But as far as stuff to do with it, I think I'll probably do something similar. I think I liked going to some of the sporting events in Dallas. We had the Rangers win the World Series last year. The Mavs are playing some good basketball. Stars are heading into the playoffs as well, and so I'd like to go to some more games. And I'll be home for a few weeks now. Obviously, things will be a little bit different. With Meredith expecting pretty soon. So We'll see, but hopefully go to a few more sporting events.
All right, let's move over to Alex here on the right.
Yeah, Scottie, first off, Wyndham was just in here and he said he felt like there was a gap between you and the rest of the PGA Tour. Do you feel that way? And if so, how big of a gap do you feel there is?
I don't really spend much time thinking about that kind of stuff. I won the tournament last week, and now we're here and it's Wednesday, and we're all at even par again. So, it seems like to me in my head that everything starts over each week, and so it doesn't matter what I'm ranked going into the week. It only really matters kind of where you sit at the end of the week. So going into this week, it'll be a bit more challenging than it was last week, just because I think playing in contention at majors and especially winning takes a lot out of you. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on after the Masters on Sunday, and you get home very late, and emotionally I think I'm a bit drained, but we're starting at even par, and so I'm going to go home this afternoon and get as much rest and recovery as possible and show up tomorrow ready to play. I was on a radio show earlier today, and Colt asked me, if I thought about withdrawing, and I was like, no, I committed to this tournament, and I'm not showing up here just to walk around and play a little golf. Like, I left my pregnant wife at home to come here and play in a golf tournament. I'm here to play and hopefully play well. I'm not here just for fun.
Okay, and as I know you were a little busy on Sunday, but there were two of your Masters champions that didn't win, but made the cut and played on the weekend that were over 60 with Olazabal and Vijay Singh. Could you kind of just talk about how difficult that is to have done last week?
Yeah, I think with the way the golf course was playing, with how challenging it was, that experience that those guys have around Augusta really, really helped them. And, just because they're older now doesn't mean they can't really play anymore. You look at a guy like Tom Watson, almost won the Open, when he was about their age. I'm not sure exactly how old he was, but, it's always still in there. And I think it's really special when you can kind of see them bring it back out. Like, I had balls next to Jose Maria on one of the days at the beginning of the week, and I was amazed with how solid he was still hitting the golf ball. Like, it had, a nice noise to it still, which is, at his age is extremely impressive, and so it's always in there. It's just a matter of when they can kind of tap into it. And so when you get conditions like that around that golf course, I think it can kind of be exposed how much talent those guys really do have.
Sorry. Let's go over to the right here, and then we'll move back to Adam.
Scottie, playing in the Pro-Am 9 holes, can you learn much about the course? And when you're playing around the 9 holes, do you talk much with the amateurs, and what do you talk about?
Yeah, it's a good question. What do we talk about? Random stuff mostly. Just, a good bit of small talk, kind of where you're from, how'd you get here, stuff like that. And, I can learn a decent amount about the course, green speeds, firmness of the greens, how the runoff areas are playing. Hit a few shots out of the sand, see how the sand's playing. There's a few spots last year that I remembered being, very difficult places to get it up and down. And when Teddy was kind of taking me around, showing me some of the areas this year, it didn't seem as challenging. I think maybe the conditions were a little softer, this morning than they will be obviously on Saturday and Sunday. And so my memories of the golf course are a tad different than what I felt this morning, but we'll see how the course plays, as the week kind of goes on.
All right, back to Adam, and then we'll wrap it up.
Scottie,
One more.
Ludwig was in earlier, and he mentioned meeting you for the first time in Rome at the Ryder Cup. Just want to get your initial impressions of him and the rapid rise that he's had so quickly.
Yeah, I hadn't played much golf with him. I'd heard about him, and he'd been playing some really good golf last summer, but I'd never been paired with him. I think we met maybe at one of the dinners one night. I think we ended up sitting next to each other, and I think his girlfriend was there, and my wife was there, and seems like a really nice guy. I've played a couple of practice rounds with him this year, and he definitely is a really nice guy. He's fun to be around. He's got a good personality. I think he's got the right personality to be successful out here for a long time. He's very competitive, but he doesn't seem to take himself too seriously. And he seems like a guy that works really hard. I see him in the trailer after rounds working out. Like he's doing the right things to have a successful career out here. And it's so funny. Like, the guys coming out of college now are just so ready to play. They really are. And so it's impressive to watch. You like seeing guys like that put in the work, put in the time, and do things the right way, have success. And Ludwig is definitely one of those guys.
One more. I imagine having a child is going to impact your schedule between now and the PGA Championship. How do you think you're going to be able to prepare for the next major?
Yeah, do the best I can. I'll be spending a bit more time at home preparing, but I'll obviously take a break when the baby comes. But we'll see. I don't know what life looks like, but up until when the baby comes, I'm going to play this week, and then I'll go home and basically just wait. We're due at the end of the month, and we'll see when the baby comes. I really I don't know. Like I said last week, golf now is. It never was my top priority, but I do love competing, and I put in the work, and so it's going to take another notch down in priority when our child comes. But my family still comes first, and we'll see how the prep work goes.
All right, we'll take the last one right here with Doug.
Hey, Scotty, I was just curious just how Meredith was doing. Has she shown any signs, any early indications?
No, nothing yet. That's why last week I felt like the story got blown up a bit too much. That's why I feel like I don't really talk about my personal life very much, just because then I have to answer questions and hear about it, and it's just a bit different. But yeah, no signs. No signs of early labor or anything like that, but she's feeling good. Very tired, but feeling good, and I'm sure she's probably getting pretty close to getting ready to have that baby.
All right, Scottie Scheffler, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.